Yeah, let's get it to the seventh pick of the draft by you, which I think was awesome. It was a great pick. It was Marcus Freeman. Okay. In hindsight, I would absolutely take Marcus Freeman over Sonny Dykes. Um, you got some crazy value. They went 10-3 this year. They were seventh offensively in points per game. Now, does that tell the full story about their offense? No, but they had a really effective running game. Defensively, they were seventh in points per game allowed, and I do think their defense was pretty solid. And they ended up in top 10 recruiting class for Marcus Freeman. So it feels like Marcus Freeman was maybe drafted a little bit too low. Like I would put him, you drafted him at seventh. I would put him in the 5 to 6 range, is where I would put Marcus Freeman. So you did get some value there, I think. So is that how you feel about this?
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, obviously, you take him over Sonny Dykes. I think there's an argument to take him over a guy like Lincoln Riley. I think they're right there with each other in terms of like the foundation of their program going forward. And I think Lincoln Riley moving to the Big Ten, while Marcus Freeman now he doesn't have the automatic bid to the to the playoffs like the Big Ten championship does have. But I still think if you're Notre Dame, getting in the top 10, top 12 is not too difficult and too crazy to ask for Marcus Freeman. So I think that the potential is there to make the playoffs consistently year over year for Notre Dame. And like you said, what he's doing recruiting wise, especially through the high school ranks, is awesome. I mean, they had a unbelievable class this past year, top 10, ninth overall. And even the year before that, they did a really good job. And they couldn't quite close out on guys like Keon Keeley and others that ended up elsewhere, but they still hit on some guys. Jeremiah Love, Braylon James, guys like that. Christian Gray going to be a big piece for them this year. Jaden Greathouse is really taking that leap in that staff or in that wide receivers room. So yeah, to me, it's Marcus Freeman's a guy. I think a lot of was made by his really bad losses he had in year one at Notre Dame. But I think we needed to understand that there was going to be a learning curve, a culture change, a set coming in for Marcus Freeman to be the guy there. And I think there was some learning pains that they were going to grow through. And you kind of did in year two. You saw that the Sam Hartman pick was beautiful. I love the Riley Leonard marriage with a guy like CJ Carr in the background. So yeah, I think it's they're doing some nice things and they supplemented nicely in the portal as well. I mean, Notre Dame's a school that's maybe tougher to transfer into with their academic restrictions in terms of who they can recruit and get. But you get some guys from Duke, you get some guys from Northwestern, you supplement here and there from Clemson and Arizona State with some guys that are going to be impact players for you at the skill positions. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like
Javante
it.
Javante Jean Baptiste last year worked out for you in the transfer portal. He got drafted to the NFL.
E-
So
Exactly.
if they can continue to keep harping on that and finding their guys with value, I mean that's fantastic, because look, Brian Kelly had that program operating at a really high level, right? Before Marcus Freeman got there, you went 11-2, 10-2, 11-2, right? And the recruiting rankings range kind of from top 15 to barely scraping the top 10. And there was a point in time and early in the fall where you thought, wow, Marcus Freeman might pull off a top 5 class. He ended up with the ninth overall class, which is still really good in terms of Notre Dame. So yeah, Marcus Freeman has this program running at a pretty decent level. I would anticipate this Notre Dame team competing for a playoff spot next year for sure. So yeah, on this list, I would. This was a great pick by you. I think you bought the stock while it was very low, and I think its valued is higher right now. So good on you, man.
Yeah, I think also the hire he made this offseason. I mean, Mike Denbrock, say what you want about him. I still think bringing him back to Notre Dame, I think he'll have success, especially what he did with Daniels is going to translate. The more and more I think about it with Riley Leonard, he had a ton of success coaching wide receivers back when he was at Notre Dame. You think of guys like Will Fuller, CJ Prosise, TJ Jones, Miles Boykins, Chis Claypool, right? And then obviously with Cincinnati with Desmond Ritter and then LSU. I mean, this season was unbelievable. I mean, most people could have called a pretty good offense with the amount of first rounders they had on that team. But regardless, I still think he did a pretty damn good job. So I again with Marcus Freeman being a defensive guy, you're gonna have to nail that offense coordinator pick, right? And Denbrock's a guy that I don't know if he's really looking to be jumping all these different the next coaching spot. I think once he's settled in Notre Dame, I think he'll be fine there for years to come, which will help with the development of guys like CJ Carr and Riley Leonard.
Yeah, 100%.